Hello and welcome to today's Rocksmith developer stream. I'm your host and community developer, Doug Lilly. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are looking at, we're looking at several songs, but this week's DLC was a single from DragonForce, Highway to Oblivion. So you might be wondering, if you're a usual viewer, well, what are you gonna do today? Usually you got 4 songs, 3 songs in a pack usually, plus a bonus song. Well, today we're just gonna have fun with it. Highway to Oblivion is coming. It's gonna be down the ways a little bit, and we're gonna play some other songs. The theme should be apparent very early on. So thank you for joining us throughout the stream. In addition to the songs and the chat, we're gonna give away some prizes. So listen for your cue for a chance to win those. We're gonna have some questions and answers. So if you have questions, send those to UB Jurassic in the chat. That is Brian Turner. He is the Rocksmith community manager located in North Carolina, and he will get those questions to us here in Studio San Francisco. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Highway to Oblivion, and then we'll be back with our first song right after that. It turns out the trailers for single song DLC are shorter than song packs. So we're all seated and ready now, and I'd like to introduce our first guests for today's stream. Hello, first guests of today's stream.
We are also shorter than most of the rest of the people on the staff, right? You've got 2 of the shortest people on the Rocksmith staff right now.
I'm in wonderful company. I'm on the shorter side.
Are you? How short are you?
I don't know, like 5 something.
Yeah, okay,
9,
that's pretty wide. There's
was
about
told
a foot
at some point
of error there.
At some point, I was told I was 5'10", and then I met someone who was 5'10",
and you're like,
I'm like, I'm
damn.
Not that tall. Somebody lied.
I'm
to me.
5'5" and a half.
But I've been holding on to the 5'10", even though I know it's wrong.
Right. It's
fine.
no, whatever makes
It's
you
fine.
feel good.
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
I know
it's
I'm
cool.
5'10" and a half because if you're less than 5'6", you know the halves.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
just
Yes,
how it works.
yes, it is. I just look up.
Dan Emmerich,
Hi.
welcome. Let me introduce the guests. And Amy Batista,
Hello.
welcome. How are you guys doing today?
Groovy.
Groovy.
Warm.
It's very warm
It
out
is
there.
very warm.
It's been
and
warm this
it
week
is-
in San Francisco.
I don't know if it's unseasonably warm.
It
'Cause
is unseasonably warm.
It is
Yeah, but-
unseasonably warm.
Well, yesterday was a record high.
Okay.
So if that helps,
That
it was
does.
yeah, it hit in the 90s here, which is unusual for San Francisco for September.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just brought the sun with you.
I did. I've said it before. I had 5 months of 90+ degree weather when I moved here, like
God.
before I moved here, and now it's I made it real hot.
Thanks.
So sorry, San Franciscans, Bay Area.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
There it is.
Great,
I
great.
understand this phrase now.
Yeah. So you two, you were not playing DragonForce today.
I am
No.
not playing
Is that
DragonForce,
correct?
although I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's about time," because there was a last time we had DragonForce in the game, everybody wanted to see me fail spectacularly. But where is the fun in seeing a 12% playthrough? I don't think it's very fun.
Would it be rhythm or lead?
It doesn't matter. It really wouldn't matter in that case because I'd be so bad at it. It'd be terrible.
So the two of you, instead of playing a DragonForce song, you were
Yes.
playing "Life is a Highway to Oblivion."
Yes, Life is a
Yeah.
Highway
Life is
to
a Highway.
Oblivion
Sorry.
by Tom Cochran. This is not the Rascal Flatts version
Right.
that a lot of people know from the Cars movies.
Right.
This was one that I actually asked to do because I really like this riff, and you were nice enough to go along with it. So thank
Yes.
you, Emmy.
Yes, thank you, Amy.
But yes,
Before we get into that, your guitar is very purple.
it is extremely
is-
purple, and I'm
we just,
super
we just
happy.
sent out a picture of it on Instagram.
Yes.
It is
I will
the purplest.
briefly. I've
Please.
been doing sort of a catch and release rescue program for wayward Stratocasters this summer, and I've been learning how to fix things. This is the first one that I've been fixing up that is a keeper. I found this in a tiny little accordion music shop.
That's not an accordion.
It's not, and that's why I got a really good deal on it on the way back from our recent trip to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been looking for this finish, which I believe is called Galactic Purple. It's a 2000 Squire Affinity, so not a very high-level guitar in terms of like original output. I got it used. I got a good deal. I threw a couple of extra parts on it, and a friend of mine, Forrest Harding, who we used to play in a band together back, like a garage band back in New Jersey, said, "Hey, I have my old pickups. You should have them." And he sends them, and they're the David Gilmour signature EMGs. So here, in a low-end Squire, I have like a super high-end set of pickups. But I worked on the neck, and I replaced a bunch of parts that needed replacing. I'm still in the process of doing that, but it's playable, and I'm super, super happy. It does not have a name. Many names have been suggested: Prince, Thanos, Grimace,
Hendrix.
yeah, Haze. Somebody just said Haze or Rain.
Right.
I don't know what to call it, but I kind of like Grimace, but at the same because that's what people do when I play. But yeah.
Are the knobs? Did you put those on there?
I did. I put
like
clear
those.
speed knobs on the Strat, which you're not supposed to do.
What makes them speed knobs?
It's the shape. This sort of a full cylinder shape of the thing, as opposed to a bell.
Yes.
Where it's tapered on the top, looks like a hat almost.
So you don't have to twist it as far.
I don't know.
Is that why
I think some of it is just the I don't know why they're called speed knobs. I could make up something, but
why is anything called anything?
Yeah, exactly. But in any case, yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into "Life Is a Highway" by Tom Cochrane.
All right.
I call it "Life Is a Highway to Oblivion" because it's fun, but that's not actually the name of the song.
No,
and I
it's
feel
not.
like I should at some point put factual information. If you have questions, please ask UB Jurassic in the chat. This is the rhythm patch, right?
Yes, this is the rhythm.
There's not much time today. There was a distance between you and I. A misunderstanding once, but now we look it in the eye. There ain't no love that I can't
Subtle.
On the fly tune.
Well, it's very warm up here, and I think that that threw me just a microtonality out.
Such a hot sound.
Right? Now that I figured out how to play it correctly.
You just can't stop.
Yeah, I had been playing this song wrong for years. I went down to a full F power chord there in the refrain, and it's actually an octave.
Oh. So you just leave the one finger.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
So it's a little bit easier than what you had been doing, possibly.
No, it's actually harder.
More okay,
because you're hitting a power chord, an open power chord, and then you're going back
Switching
and
octaves.
and doing the F octave. But yeah, it's still one of my favorite songs. That was one of my college radio songs. I was in college radio, so I would spin that a lot.
Ditto.
And like, oh yeah.
We didn't play it.
No, did you play the Rascal Flatts version? Because you're like
No.
8 years older, 8 years younger than I am, or 20 years younger than I am. I think.
Somewhere between.
Yeah.
Somewhere between there.
I don't
Probably
think I
13.
ever heard that version on.
You've never heard?
Oh, really?
That version?
Yeah, the Tom Clock one.
I think
know
that is
I know the cars.
that is like I guess
the
life,
Rascal guy.
The
Life
Rascal
is
Flatts. Yeah.
Life as a Highway is like a marker of a generational.
I guess
divide.
so. Yeah.
Like,
do you
like
know it
we're-
from the
we're
radio,
on
or do
the-
you know
we're
it
on the
from
Tom
Lightning
Cochrane.
McQueen?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd heard the Rascal Flatts version until we released this, and people were asking about
Right. Why isn't it that one?
the Rascal Flatts version. Yeah.
Whichever one we gave
Yeah.
you, you would have wanted the other one. We know.
So I wrote down a few suggestions. I missed some in the chat.
Oh, is this name suggestions? I figured it would keep the chat busy.
Yeah. Grimister,
Grimister?
which it's a bit shaky. That was
I
one
don't
of
get
the
it.
first ones. Like Grimace Telecaster.
The
Sure.
Grim.
It's-
Almost like
it's a weird-
Grimacecaster,
yeah,
but
yeah.
except they're stopping it at the C. I get
Yeah.
the wordplay now. No.
What's eating Gilmore grape? Purple People Eater.
No, I do not look
Deep
like
Purple.
Sheb Woolley, and I am not going to do that. Yeah, Deep Purple, no.
My favorite one,
Yeah.
if I have any say in this, is the Barney Caster.
No, it's
No.
not. It's the wrong color for
Wrong
Barney.
purple? Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna do that. Sorry.
Well, okay. Well, what are you landing on then?
I don't know.
You've
Maybe
gotta-
it's just the purple squire.
Okay, fine.
I'm leaning towards Thanos, and then maybe adding some Infinity Stones along the bottom somewhere. That'd be-
Question from Bitspiel.
Yeah, hi Bitspiel.
Are those EMG pickups in Grimace, name assumed, active?
Yes, they are active. It's the DG20 set, and the battery lives there. So in order to change the battery, which, the battery is only engaged when you're plugged in, so I guess I should unplug it. But the 9-volt will last about 9 months. So if you change strings, you just have to pop open a couple of these screws and throw in a new battery. So it shouldn't be that bad. There are other guitars that have like dedicated battery boxes in the back. I didn't want to take any wood out of this.
Right.
So
I don't know if this is from UB Jurassic or if he's just passing this along, but the Purple People Etar.
the Purple People guitar?
Etar.
No.
Etar. That's weird.
Nope.
That's
Yeah, it's
uncomfortable
too
to
long.
say.
Nope. Nope.
Another question from Pat Too Cool. Interesting one. I have a spare real tone cable and a couple of side jack equipped guitars, and was thinking about replacing the real tone cable straight jack with a right angle jack. Is this advisable, and will it mess with Rocksmith's note detection capacity?
It will not, but there's two options you have. If you are handy soldering, you can chop off the end and solder in your own right angle
This,
thing.
of course, is not officially
Right.
supported.
This is not officially supported, but we've seen people do it, and I'm going to say somebody's name that starts with Brian Brody has actually done things like that in the past. But I actually found on Amazon a little right angle adapter for a few bucks from Hosa, H-O-S-A, and that's what I use at home when I have side jack equipped guitars. You just plug that straight in. It's just a simple adapter. No permanent damage, no messing around, no voiding your warranty. I would suggest that instead.
Yeah, and neither of those. Anytime you add more pieces to the chain, it could affect something in the chain. But
yeah, but
that's
it's so
probably the
easy to
most
unplug it rather
minimal-
than maybe I soldered it wrong.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So that would probably be that's the safest bet.
Yeah,
is just
for
get the
sure.
adapter. All right. Thank you both very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us and playing. Hopefully, the viewers have picked up on what the theme for the rest of the stream will be.
Purple
We'll see.
guitars.
Purple guitars. We are going to give away our first Ernie Ball prize pack of the stream right now. So if you are interested in winning one of these Ernie Ball prize packs, please listen to what UB Jurassic is saying in the chat. He will give you instructions. You do need to follow Rocksmith Game here on Twitch, but he will give you instructions on how you can win one of these Ernie Ball prize packs. If you win, he will reach out to you via Whisper. He will need to collect your name, your shipping address, and your telephone number. We need all of that information in order to get your package to you. So please make sure you, if you win, make sure you look for a Whisper from UB Jurassic. Make sure you have Whispers enabled in Twitch. In the Ernie Ball prize pack, you're going to get 2 sets of strings from Ernie Ball, 4-string set and a 6-string set. You're going to get a dozen picks from Ernie Ball and 3 Spectrum Plectrum picks from us here at Rocksmith. You're going to get a bright red guitar strap and a package of Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes to help keep your strings, your fretboard, and your guitar's body nice, clean, and polished, and let your strings last longer. Give them some extra life. You're also going to get a peg winder from Ernie Ball that you can use with the strings that you got to switch them out quickly and efficiently. So if you win, once more, please look for a Whisper from UB Jurassic. He will get that information to me, and we'll get your package out as soon as possible. If you are outside of the U.S., we do ship internationally, but it helps us out tremendously if you were able to split up your address line by line. Either just send a line of your address at a time when you reply to UB Jurassic, or you can split it up with brackets or commas or just any sort of mark to note that it's a different line. So good luck on winning the Ernie Ball prize pack. And right now, we'd like to say hello to our next set of guests. Hello, next set of guests.
What's up, Doug?
We have 2 note trackers here. Hello, guys. We have Ryken directly to my left, and you're going to play lead on whatever it is we're looking at here.
Is it a secret?
I mean, it's not a secret. I just haven't said it yet. You can.
So it is a
Highway
secret.
Star.
Highway Star. It's not a secret.
Well,
it just
now
hasn't
it's
been
not.
announced. Yeah. Things
Before-
can be unknown and not secrets.
Before there was Ingve,
Yeah.
there was only Richie Blackmore
and Greg Studley. I get
back
to your
in the
name.
Stone Age.
So yeah,
Stoned Age.
when this song, when we were figuring out who was going to play on what, let me just wash over that. Like,
Didn't even happen.
When I said Highway Star, you were like, yes, yeah, me.
It was like the coolest song in the pack, and it wasn't DragonForce.
Well, this is an older song. There was only one song this week.
Well, you know, out of the group, out of your choices.
Sure.
this was my
You're-
preferred.
So
No,
yeah,
it's a really fun song.
so yeah. Do you have a connection to Highway Star? This Highway Star.
Not
Deep
really.
Purple?
I mean, nothing
guess-
special, but
Maybe purple really is the theme today.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
actually, I saw the Chicken Foot version. I think Chicken Foot with Joe Satriani playing the solo, and I was like, oh, dude, that's pretty ripping.
So is that the version you're going to play today, or are you going to do?
No, I'm not doing that version. I'm
All right,
doing just the basics.
And you're doing lead, and we've got Greg on bass.
Fun
Wow, this
tune,
will be
by the
fun.
way.
Yeah.
This will be a fun one.
Yeah, it's been fun to listen to Rye. Rye sits beside me, and it's been fun to listen to him practice. He sounds-
Practice.
or
Dude, I'm
whatever.
reading this cold.
Sure. Okay, it's been fun to hear you noodle around to something that sounds astonishingly like Highway Star. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, this is an older piece of content, not new this week. New this week, DragonForce, Highway to Oblivion.
You're doing great, Ryan. You're doing great.
So far, so good.
Just keep breathing. I just want to say, this is a really long stream.
My picking
Wait,
hand's starting to fatigue.
Already? Come on.
It's way too early for that.
Oh, the rhythm got you. It got me every time except that one. I'll just play this open A while you do that.
Nice.
Now my guitar solo attitude.
That was a great sight read.
You could tell because I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was sight reading so good. I'm still getting tagged on that.
That is just a cool song. This looks so fun. I'm jealous that I didn't play it.
Yeah.
That sounded fantastic. Great,
Great
Wow.
sight reading, man. Great sight reading.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything to add to that.
I don't know what you're gonna follow that
Okay,
with.
yeah. So baseline very active.
Oh yeah.
It looks very fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
Yeah. Guitar part, that solo is, it just looks, it's so cool.
And it's highly melodic, which is why it actually
Yeah.
sounds so good. Like it's memorable because there's a definite melody embedded in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
It tells a story.
It's kind of like a
Very nice.
composed melody.
Right,
Basically,
right.
It is
So-
composed, so
So yeah,
even though it has those note flurries,
yeah,
kind of Flight of the Bumblebee
yeah.
influence, or inspiration
So
for that.
when you guys are and this is maybe a little tip of the hat to what's to come on Monday, but when you are working on solos, when you're developing a solo, how much of it is craft and construction, and how much of it is improvisation?
I think it depends. Definitely for like rock and solos like this, it's more composition. If you're just doing jazz, it's more like straight off the dome, like improvising.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's cool things about both, and then there's this like weird like region where you're not quite sure. It's like some of those licks sound worked out, but then it just
Right,
it's
which
either
might be the
perform-
case.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
You might have like within this solo, if you've got 32 bars in this solo, maybe a quarter of those might be sort of you have on hand. You're going to get there, and it's just the spaces between those.
there's also a nice in between spot that you can get to where you essentially have an outline of how you're going to play your solo. Like, okay, you know, I'm gonna start here at the 5th fret, and I'm gonna, you know, make my way up into this zone, and at this measure, I'm gonna do this bend, and that's like
And I know I got this bend.
right. It's
unlocked.
essentially like you create these little stop points, and all you're doing then is connecting them using improvising. So it's I actually like that method because it gives you some freedom, but it also keeps you grounded into like where you are in the chord progression at any time.
And
so
imagine
it's
if
a
you're-
nice in between.
I imagine a lot of people will do that when they're playing live.
Yeah.
You have the solo that, you know, people in the audience know from the albums, but then when you're playing live, maybe you know, like this, that, and that will be in the solo, but everything else, you're just gonna have fun.
Yeah,
See what happens.
it lets you be creative while still making something sound authentic.
Right.
So
right.
it's a good middle ground.
But
for
still
that.
getting to those signature licks, you know, that are
Yeah.
memorable. And I think if you're recording, if you're putting together a solo, not performing it live that you've already recorded, it's like, you know, it's cool to, you know, I know like you're saying, I know I'm going to get to this lick at some time. I want to throw this lick in, but you might not hit it exactly the same every time, you know, or it might be phrased a little differently, and then you're like, you probably lay down 3 or a handful of solos, and you're like, that's like the magic is
That's
in
the
that one, you know.
Okay.
And some guys I've known like are like first take guys, and then it only goes down from the first take, you know.
Like that, the magic is all in the creation, and then everything else.
Yeah, you
gets
kind
sort
of get lost in the weeds a little bit, or your
Okay.
hand gets tired or something like that. But
Interesting.
then everybody's different with that process.
That is actually a good point for when you're tracking recording. If you're like testing, you know, you're like, okay, let me just do a test run.
Yeah.
Always record it.
Yeah, you never know.
Because that test run that you do might, and very often, like you're saying, some people are like the first take is the best one, and you should always record it, even if you're just like, I think I got the level set, let's just do a run. Make sure you record it, because you might want that for mixing things together later.
Yeah, that sounds like good advice. All right, thank you both very much. Right now, we're going to watch a quick video. While the video is going on, we are going to give away 5 copies of this week's DLC. That is the single for DragonForce's Highway to Oblivion. So make sure you listen to UB Jurassic in the chat for your chance to win one of those. Again, those 5 codes are going to be on Steam. The video we're going to watch is a little bit of a look at the person, the player who note tracked and will soon perform the featured song of this week's stream, Highway to Oblivion. Have you figured out what the theme to the other songs is? I hope so. It should be pretty obvious. So what are your guesses for what's coming after this video? We'll see. Okay, let's take a look at a guitar death match. And we'll be back right after that. Hello and welcome back to today's Rocksmith developer stream. I am and remain your host, Doug Lilly. To my right, Brian Pody.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
I'm excited right now because I haven't played in a long time on the stream. So this is always a treat for me. And you helped me out by jumping on this song with me because I really wanted to play it. I thought it would be fun for the theme that we put together for today. We are going to play Mastodon's Oblivion. And this is not the song. When you agreed to play it, it wasn't the song that you thought it was.
No, I was like, oh yeah, I played that Mastodon song recently.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize there were 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
And then I went, oh, this says I have never played any of the paths of this song ever.
Well, how did it go?
All right.
Okay, we'll see. And we'll see. I'm sure it'll be great. Yeah. So we started with Life as a Highway, and then Highway Star, and now Oblivion. We thought about Highway Tune, but it's been on the stream a couple times.
It has.
Fairly recently. So Oblivion it is. So now we have the whole Highway to Oblivion. We're paving the highway to Oblivion. That's weird. That's a weird thing. That's fine. I don't practice these. I don't write these things down. I don't workshop them. But yeah, right now we're gonna play Oblivion by Mastodon. And if you have questions, please reach out to UB Jurassic. In the meantime, I won't be able to see him until I get back over that way. But you can see him.
Oh.
I might not be on the right tab.
I think you're buffering.
Oh, cool. Awesome. It's fine. We'll get there. All right, here is Oblivion by Mastodon. I'm saying like that, like they cut away from me. Always a treat for me. So what were you saying that I missed?
I was saying the song doesn't lack for parts. It has many different parts.
That's okay. What do you mean by that? Just
Um,
like the sections of the song.
Yeah. There's like the intro, and then
Mhm.
there's another part, and then there's like the chorus, and then there's like 3 other parts that get like interspersed.
Like they had a bunch of riffs, they had a bunch of things, and they were like able to piece them together in a way. Or maybe it was
they're like,
constructed.
here's a cool riff.
Where do you want with this riff?
Shove it in there.
Can we put it in Oblivion? Sure. I don't know if that's how they wrote that, but it's a fun way to think. What are you playing? What are you playing today? What guitar are you using today? I didn't see when you came in. Oh, it's okay.
Mine.
The Polycaster.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm here with my PRS Kingfisher, which I think it's only been on the stream once before. That's all I got. I like it. It's
So
my
we all go, oh, PRS makes
PRX
basses?
makes a bass. Yeah, they do. And this is at least one of them. I think they make a couple, but this is the one that I happen to have.
It's a cool
fun.
bass. It's like
It's fun.
what?
It's meaty.
5-piece neck through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's very cool.
So now that you have played Oblivion by Mastodon, in addition to the parts, there's also some fun rhythmic stuff to it,
Mhm.
where you're, at least on the bass path, I think, there's a part where you're playing a little bit off from the guitar and more with the drums,
Yeah.
because they have some polyrhythm. They might not be the most polyrhythmic band in the world, but they have it on occasion, and
Yeah.
on this one, it definitely shows through in those. I would probably call it a bridge near the end, but I don't know. There could be a town full of bridges in this song. The town of Oblivion. That's all I got. Okay, thank you very much, Brian Pody,
Thank you.
for joining us. Right now, I am going to try to make my way to the podium stealthily so that the people watching don't know that I'm moving. I ruined it already. It's fine. Yep. So usually at this point in the stream, I guess I'll stay sitting. Usually at this point in the stream, we will talk about songs, maybe in case you missed them, like what we are offering this week. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Today, you want to take over? You want today we are instead going to look at a few technical monsters. These are some songs that, through discussion, we decided were good examples. Maybe not the most difficult songs in the game, though they may be the most difficult songs in Rocksmith for you, depending on your various strengths. But these are some songs that we thought if you really want to challenge, because this week, this DragonForce song is all about technique. It's all about challenge. So if you're looking for more songs that will offer that sort of challenge, here are some good suggestions. They're split up mostly by guitar on the top and bass on the bottom, like you normally have sonically. But that is not to say that these songs, the songs that are challenging on bass, are easy on guitar. There are a lot of, a few of these songs are quite difficult on both guitar and bass. But for guitar, I picked out Joe Satriani's Surfing with the Alien, which was on a recent stream. Also, Eric Johnson's Cliffs of Dover, which was mentioned, I believe, by Roymond early on in the stream when we were first talking about what the theme of the stream would be. So there you go, Cliffs of Dover, very long, very technically challenging song. Also, of course, DragonForce, Through the Fire and Flames, the first and currently only other DragonForce song in the library. Also, Wes Montgomery, West Coast Blues. Not necessarily a shreddy thing, but if you want to get into just all the chords and all the movement, that is a challenging piece for guitar. Bass, the bass path is a walking bass line, but because of the frequency and strangeness of the chord changes, that walking bass line is a bit of a monster as well. On bass, Rush's YYZ. Couldn't put some challenging bass songs on here without some Rush. So Rush's YYZ is on there. Dream Theater, Metropolis Part 1, The Miracle, and The Sleeper. Quite challenging on bass. Also, not a cakewalk on guitar. And then Primus's Tommy the Cat and Duran Duran's Rio round out these examples of technical monsters in Rocksmith. All these available. I believe all of these are DLC. I don't think any of them are on disc tracks. But I'm willing to be corrected whenever somebody wants to say so in the chat. See if I have any questions. No, I didn't miss any questions. All right, I think we are ready to unveil the note tracker and performers of the highlight of this week. This is Highway to Oblivion by DragonForce, and to perform it, the note tracker, Brian Shu.
Perform it.
How's it going?
It's going.
How are you
Thrown
feeling?
to the wolves.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling all right. I practiced it like twice today.
That's probably plenty. So how compared to Through the Fire and Flames? I think a lot of people, and David Stevens is also here.
Okay.
I'm gonna back up just a minute before I actually ask that question. So I mentioned Brian Shu, your note tracker. David Stevens, you would normally be running the board right now. You are our QA here in the studio, but you're off the board and you're playing bass on this DragonForce tune. You were also very quick to claim.
Oh, it's fun.
That part. Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to play bass or guitar, but
right. But you wanted to play something on this.
The bass is approachable, and we don't want to scare the bass players away.
It's fat. There's a lot of 16th notes and some faster
fun.
bits
It's fun.
and some
Absolutely.
really interesting runs in there. So you did not note track Through the Fire and Flames.
I did not.
That was Brian
That
Pody.
was Pody. Yes.
But you note tracked this one.
I did. Shout out to Rye, though. He did most of this transcription.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He did a majority of the work. Worked with Herman.
Yeah.
He sent us some videos on positioning and stuff. So hopefully it's very, very, very close. Yeah. But I did.
Which is rare. It's very rare.
I did do some of the transcription part as well. This was just like a multi-man effort. And I did do all of the note tracking. That is the level design and stuff like that.
Cool. So Herman Lee visited us a few months ago, and that's sort of when we first started talking about getting the song in. This song, by the way, hasn't officially been released. The album that this song is on hasn't officially been released. That comes out tomorrow. That is Extreme Power Metal. Comes out Friday the 27th, which is tomorrow. And they've been really, really nice to work with over this past week.
Yeah, Herman's a really cool dude.
Herman, DragonForce,
Cool
and
guys.
people at Metal Blade, all super cool.
Very nice. And
Herman Lee offering the videos to help get the transcriptions.
Yeah.
Was there much back and forth, or was it here's the
There
video?
was some back and forth. Yeah. You know, we had asked for a couple of things to help, some clarification on like, you know, certain.
Like, what is that sound?
Yeah, actually, there's something interesting about this chart that there is a 7-string in it, but since we don't do 7-string, we had to transpose some of the guitar parts up to be playable on a 6-string. It was kind of crazy because before, I think Rye had transcribed like the entire rhythm guitar in like D standard.
Yeah.
So I was like, I retransposed it up to E standard so that you could just play it without having to mess around with your guitar.
And there's lead, rhythm, bass, all lead.
So this one's a little different than the other DragonForce chart.
Yeah.
The other DragonForce chart, we tried to be very faithful to who was playing what. Since when we got this tune, we didn't really know who was playing what.
Yeah.
And we only had so much time to work with. We just did basic arrangements. Basically, the rhythm is just a rhythm chart.
Okay.
Lead is all of the lead parts. So
okay.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of like crazy doodly stuff in here.
And what is an
and
alt
then the alt is basically some of the harmonies.
Okay.
So basically, if you wanted to play, I think it's rhythm guitar with the harmonies.
Okay. Cool.
With any harmony.
Yeah,
parts.
so because there are a lot of harmonies in this.
There's a lot of things going on.
And I'm sure people are wondering, like, comparatively, is this song harder than Through the Fire and Flames? And I would have to say this song starts off easier.
Okay.
Through the Fire and Flames, you're immediately going into some crazy single string stuff. Whereas this one, you do some more melodic things in the beginning. There's actually a long break in the intro.
Yeah.
And then most of it is riffing up until the solo. And the solo is ridiculous. But yeah, it's still really hard, but kind of like it's spaced out a little differently.
Okay, so you get little breaks maybe.
Yeah, and this one might be harder just because both solos, or like I don't know who's actually soloing where.
Right.
So like as the other chart had both split, this has both, like, I don't know,
present and the same together.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. As this is going on, is there anything that we should look out for in particular on either path, lead or bass?
Lead, it's just really fast. Like, you're just gonna feel your forearms burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I wish I could, like, I haven't prepped for this song as much as I wish I did. Like, but you know, time didn't allow it. So
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready? Do we need to breathe? Do we need to take 5?
I mean, there's a long intro, so I can breathe there.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go and get it started then. Yeah. Again, if you have any more questions, make sure you reach out to UB Jurassic in the chat. One more prize or raffle on the way.
Yeah, this song's epic.
When the lights have turned to gray.
I feel like we need like a fan blowing.
Oh, if you haven't checked out the music video, check out the music video.
Yeah.
It's dope. It's cool.
See the sun now fade away. Can we find the words to say? All the times we fought in vain. Through the years and seasons change.
This intro reminds me of like some sort of Olympic compilation or something. Stuck on my
have
Yeah.
a whammy bar, so I can't do anything that's cool. Whose fault is that? Oh, I love this riff. Nice.
Not even close, bro.
Good enough for government work.
I can breathe again.
I don't know. I'll just do that.
Nice.
That ending is just like, I don't know.
So I had no tractors. I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't know. So yeah. Oof.
87, I'll take that.
Take it slow.
Yeah.
It's warm up here. It is very warm up here, and it's that song did not make it any less.
I think we're there. We made it.
Yeah.
We're in Oblivion.
Yes.
Yeah. How does Oblivion feel now that you're here? Warmer than you
sweaty.
think? I thought Oblivion would be
Sweaty.
colder.
That's
you.
that's just endurance, like it's so hard to keep it up.
Like there's not like a good starting point. Like if we were going to dissect the song,
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I mean,
know
even
where
the rhythm is just hard.
It's
Like
just like
even without all the lead part, because you're just
30-second
like
notes.
yeah.
It's yeah. And the bass goes briefly into a couple of 30-second note sections here and there.
I think the most interesting thing about the bass is, for the most part, it just it keeps time with the drums. But there are some syncopated spots, so
Yeah.
just watch for those.
I know there was that riff that you like on the A string that you mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wonderful job,
Yeah.
both of you. And yeah, so that is available now. If you want that kind of challenge, it is an intense creature. And yeah, so people were wondering why only one song. Basically, this is just a special event that we're running with DragonForce for the release of the album and this the single. This is not going to be a regular thing as far as having a single song week. Just a one-off.
It also took a very long time to
Yeah,
do.
to be honest, it's a resources
It's-
thing. You know,
yeah.
just so
Even
much
like,
work goes into this.
You know,
Even
like,
with the help, it's still
oh yeah,
because there is on top of just the transcription, there's a lot more that goes into creating one of the charts than just the transcription.
yeah. We double check the work.
There's leveling.
We do a lot. The leveling is what takes the longest, honestly. But like, you know, since Herman and DragonForce actually sent us stuff, we tried to be doubly sure that most of the stuff that, you know, we were putting in here was just like as spot on as possible.
Yeah.
And of course, like arrangement wise, like it's going to differ
Yeah.
just because of the
Because they're using more than two guitars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that recording. Okay.
But yeah.
It's a monster.
It's definitely.
It sure is.
Can I tell you how long it took me to actually level design this tune?
How long did it take you?
3 weeks.
And usually for a normal song, how long does that usually take?
Like I can level design a chart and get it double checked probably within a week and a half at most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So double to triple the normal time.
Totally.
To level.
I mean, this is like 5 songs in one, and then there's already like more than one arrangement. So
Right.
like,
A lot
it's
to chew on.
a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and double check and make sure. Yeah.
Everything's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again very much. Wonderful job.
You're welcome.
Brian Shu, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're going to give away our.
on,
we're going to
come
give away. Yeah. We're going to give away our last Ernie Ball prize pack of the day. So please listen to what UB Jurassic is saying in the chat for your chance to win this Ernie Ball prize pack. The pack's going to come with 2 sets of strings for Ernie Ball. It's going to have a dozen picks from Ernie Ball, as well as 3 picks from us, Pegwinder and the Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes to keep your guitar nice, clean, and fresh, and your strings lasting longer. So all that can be yours if you listen to UB Jurassic's instructions in the chat. You must be following the channel to win, but you don't have to be in the U.S. to win. We do ship internationally, so good luck to all of our viewers in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. Coming up on Monday, we're going to have another Encore stream. Encore streams, for those of you who are unaware, are a roughly monthly. We try once a month to have an extra stream on the last Monday of every month. This month, we're having an Encore stream about songwriting. We're going to have a discussion about songwriting, sort of an intro to the topic. And if it goes well, we may revisit this topic soon. But we're going to have 3 guests from the studio here talking about their experience with songwriting, their expertise, and how they approach songwriting in an Encore. That'll be Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 10 or 11 in the UK. Somebody can probably put the right time there for me if you don't mind. I appreciate it. That's coming up on Monday. Tomorrow, we will have the return of a clue in the forum. So go to rocksmith.com, click the link to the clue, and we'll have a clue there from Rolling Stone 222 that will give you a hint as to what is coming next week, DLC-wise. So check that out. That will be posted. I'm not sure if UB Siraxia or UB Jurassic is posting that. Hopefully UB Jurassic can confirm which one in the chat right now. If it's UB Jurassic, it'll probably be posted around 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern. If it's Siraxia, it'll be a few hours earlier than that. So look in the chat for more information on that, and we'll see you on the forums then. For Monday's Encore stream, we are trying to get some questions a little bit early, so look out for a tweet from us. We are at Rocksmith Game on Twitter, same as Instagram, and we'll send out a tweet asking for questions. Actually, I think we've already sent one out, so if you can find that, you can just reply to it with any questions about songwriting that you might have that we can hopefully incorporate into the Encore stream on Monday. So look out for that. And thank you in advance for any questions that you have. Yeah, we'll be back Monday. We'll be here next Thursday for our usual Rocksmith developer stream. And yeah, let's take one more look at Highway to Oblivion from DragonForce, out now. Again, I want to thank Herman Lee. I want to thank DragonForce. And I want to thank Metal Blade for just being really cool and helping us out with that. We will see you next week.